Arian has always been a calm person, staying up all night for work, waking up late in the morning. These were all parts of his life, but he had never been under pressure like this before. Arian works at a software company in New Jersey. For the past year, the company has been stuck on a major project. If they miss the deadline, there's a chance he could lose his job. Arian was told, "You need to travel for 3 days to finish the client meeting. If you don't finalize the deal, the company will suffer." The problem was, the client called him to a place far from the city, a 50-year-old small town, Hillview Town. Arian had no choice but to leave. By the time the client meeting was over, it was already 8 p.m. Hillview Town was completely dark, empty roads, shops closed, as if this town existed only during the day and silently died at night. After the meeting, Arian decided returning to the city tonight wasn't possible. It wasn't safe to travel this late, and the cold was unbearable. The client had also said, "The main city is about 2 hours from here. Don't go now. There's an old place nearby, Hillview Hotel. Stay there for the night." Arian wasn't excited about the idea. People spoke badly about the hotel. Some said strange sounds echo at night. Others claimed someone walks through the corridors. Arian didn't believe such stories. He laughed and said, "Whatever, I just need to sleep. Thinking about nonsense won't help." But the silence in Hillview, it felt like the whole town had been frozen inside a heavy, suffocating darkness. A strange, compressed quiet, more like someone's presence than a quiet town. Despite the discomfort, Arian entered the hotel. The hotel looked ordinary from the outside. One story, old wooden walls, dusty windows. As soon as Arian entered, he noticed there was no one in the lobby. But one thing was extremely abnormal. The clock showed 8:40 p.m., yet the lobby looked like a place that had been closed for years. Dust on chairs, wall lights half dead, and a small table fan spinning slowly, but making no sound at all. Silent, disturbingly silent. Suddenly a man came out from behind the reception counter, around 60 years old, an odd, calm smile on his face. He said, "Night guest? Rare. Very few stay here at night." Arian replied, "Yes, I need a room for the night. It's been a long day." The old man nodded. "Room 31 is empty. It will be adequate." He looked at Arian as if measuring him, judging whether it was a mistake to stay here. While handing him the key, he said, "The corridor lights are dim. Don't be scared. The electric lines here have issues." Arian smiled. "I don't get scared that easily." The man looked away and muttered, "Yes, everyone says that." There was a hidden warning in his tone, Arian felt. But he ignored it. The corridor was long. The old wooden floor creaked under each step, yet somehow the sounds felt strangely suppressed. The hallway lights flickered, dim and unsteady. Arian thought, can't expect better from such an old place. But then he froze. At the end of the corridor, one door was slightly open. Room 22. Inside, total darkness. But the door moved slowly, as if air from inside was pushing it. Even though there was no airflow anywhere in the hotel. Arian stared for a moment, shook his head, and walked on. Too tired. His mind wasn't working properly. As Arian entered, he was surprised. The room was simple, but everything was arranged with unnerving precision, as if someone measured and aligned every item daily. The room had a smell too, a mix of dust, old wood, and something sweet, like a perfume sprayed for years. When Arian tried to turn on the TV, he noticed it wasn't plugged in, yet the screen flickered with static. He shrugged it off. Old building, faulty wiring. After washing his face and returning, he noticed something under the door. A shadow. Someone bending low, trying to look inside through the gap under the door. Arian thought someone made a mistake. Maybe a guest looking for the wrong room. But something was wrong. The shadow didn't move, not even for several seconds. Arian walked to the door and swung it open. The corridor was empty. The shadow was gone. But on the floor, fresh shoe marks appeared. Ones that weren't there moments ago. Arian checked with a flashlight. Definitely fresh. Someone was there. Someone standing silently outside. Arian locked the door. Probably a prank by another guest, he thought. Suddenly the lights flickered 3 times. Arian heard faint footsteps from inside the room. but he was alone. Then his eyes fell on the old register book on the table. One line was written, Room 31, occupied return time, 11:43 p.m., do not disturb. The entry wasn't from today. The year written, 1989, and the name, he. Arian tried to laugh, but his chest tightened. Someone from 1989 was supposed to return to this room tonight? Absurd. He sat on the bed, plugged in his phone. Right then, from the corridor, room 22's door creaked open, and Arian clearly heard someone breathing. Heavy, slow, broken breathing, moving from room 22 toward room 31. Arian froze. The breathing grew louder, a long, dragging inhale. Silence. Then another broken breath. A shadow appeared under the door, not right in front of room 22, but halfway through the corridor, growing longer, moving slowly toward room 31. Arian grabbed his phone. No network, not a single bar. As if the room itself was blocking signal, he took a deep breath. Stay calm. Old hotel, bad wiring, load shedding happens. He tried to justify it, but something inside him felt unnaturally cold. Suddenly, the corridor tube light died. In 1 second, pitch darkness. The shadow vanished, only black, but the breathing was now right at the door. Someone was standing on the other side. Arian stepped back. Don't open the door, he thought. 5 seconds of silence. Then, 3 hard knocks. Arian jumped, but the sound felt distant, like an echo happening somewhere else, not directly on the door. Impossible. He didn't go closer. He sat by the lamp. The weak light gave minimal comfort. Silence again. Then, a whisper, very low, broken, scraping like metal. From beneath the door, room 31, Arian's skin crawled. Someone whispering his room number, now, and the voice wasn't human. He suddenly remembered the register line. Return time, 11:43 p.m. Name, he. Arian checked the time. 11:39 p.m. Whoever or whatever was supposed to return in 1989 was almost here. The corridor lights flickered back on. The shadow disappeared. Everything looked normal again. Then, a wooden door creaked open. Room 22. Footsteps, slow, heavy, coming toward room 31. Arian approached the door to look through a peephole, but there wasn't one. Too old. Don't open the door, he reminded himself. Footsteps grew louder. Thok, 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 then stopped, right at the door. Silence. Just as Arian breathed in, a piece of paper slid under the door. He picked it up. One word written. Welcome back. And below it, the same time. 11:43 p.m. The paper was old, yellowish, with faint burn marks, like it was torn from something that burned long ago. Suddenly, the TV turned on by itself. In the static, a tall figure slowly appeared, and through the broken speaker, a distorted voice croaked, Room 31, time to check out. Arian stepped back. This was only the beginning. The night at Hillview Hotel was far from over. The white static floating on the TV screen slowly began to take on a body of its own. The blurred streaks of light flickered like flames, and from within them, a shape slowly began to form. At first, it wasn't clear, a person, a shadow, or something else. But the way it moved, that wasn't human. It was stiff, broken, hunched forward in a strange, twisted posture, as if its bones weren't properly connected, as if with every step, the body cracked apart and reassembled itself. Then the TV's microphone picked up a broken metallic voice. Checking in. Completed. Arian froze. And then, that sound again. Thok, thok, thok. But this time, it wasn't coming from the corridor. The sound was coming from inside the room. Arian stood absolutely still. His throat went dry. His hands trembled, and not a single word came out. The sound became clearer. From inside the bathroom, the door was slightly open, and through that small gap, an icy white mist slowly drifted out and spread across the room. It was so cold, Arian could see his own breath. He stepped back toward the head of the bed. Only one thought echoed in his mind. It's trying to get out. Right then, a faint paper tearing sound came from inside the bathroom. Rip, 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 as if someone was slowly tearing the pages of a very old diary. And then, a piece of paper slid through the bathroom door gap and rolled into the room. Arian gathered the courage to pick it up. The paper was just like before. Old, yellowed, burnt along the edges. This time it said, "Room 31 owes a debt. Settle before 12 a.m. Arian looked at the clock. It was 11:49 p.m. His heartbeat pounded. Debt? What debt? And why would something like this happen to an ordinary person like me? Right then, from the deep darkness of the bathroom, a muffled, agonized scream rose. A voice held down by suffocation, as if someone drowning was forcing sound through their throat. Arian went cold. It was calling his name. If a spirit knows someone's name, that means it had been waiting for him. And then, his phone lit up by itself. No network. Yet a notification appeared on the screen. Debt remaining 31. And the number started to drop. 30, 29, 28, 27. His heartbeat synced with the countdown, pounding faster and louder. Arian realized they were counting time, but it wasn't time. It was a countdown, the arrival warning for someone. Suddenly, the bathroom light turned on, so bright as if a surgery was happening inside, and behind the shower glass, a shadow began to move. Not a human shadow. The head was long, the arms reached down to the knees, the whole body hunched over. And then, from the bathroom floor, someone slowly pushed themselves upright. Creak, creak, creak. Arian backed up against the wall. He grabbed the doorknob and pulled, but the door wouldn't budge, not even a little. Then, someone on the other side exhaled, very close. A sound like someone pressing their ear to the door, listening intently to every noise inside. Then, a suffocating whisper. Your room never checked out. The voice seeped straight into his ears. 1 second later, the shadow on the TV screen vanished. Then, the TV switched perspective. It now showed a live feed from outside Arian's door, as if someone was standing right there holding a camera. And in that camera view, a figure stood, head bowed, motionless, right in front of his door, as if staring straight through it. Suddenly, words appeared on the screen. Returned. And then, the figure slowly lifted its head, not toward the camera, but looking straight into Arian's eyes. And at that moment, 2 black fingers slowly slid under the door. Bone-thin, charred skin, making a wet, crackling sound as they moved. Slowly, even slower, entering the room. Arian shoved the door with all his strength, but someone on the other side pushed back even harder. The timer hit. 030201. The final second echoed, "Welcome back to room 31." And the room went dark. Complete darkness. Complete silence. Except one sound. Breathing. Very slow, very close. Right behind Arian. Something stood. Behind the door. Not moving, just breathing. Then the TV sound changed. The screen now showed an old hotel logbook. Below it read, Room 31, checked in, November 12th, 1989. Checked out. Status. Missing, presumed dead. And below that, a glowing name, white letters on black. Arian Rahman. Arian staggered back. He wasn't even born in 1989. So, why was his name in Room 31's records? Suddenly, the bathroom light came on. Inside, the entire floor was flooded. Dense mist rose from the water, and standing in the water was a figure with no face, just a blank black void. In its hand, something, a key. Old, rusted, the key to room 31. It spoke slowly. "You came back to finish what you left behind?" Terrified, Arian whispered, "This is my first time here. I have no connection to 1989. The figure tilted its head in a strange, unnatural way. Then it spoke. "Every room remembers its owner." The white bathroom tiles reflected the water. Arian saw his reflection was different. His face burned deeply, his eyes hollow, as if he himself had died in a fire. Arian lurched back. The mirror no longer showed him. It showed someone else. In the corridor outside, the clock began again. Tick, tick, tick. Time, 11:59 p.m. The figure spoke one last time. "Welcome back, guest 31. Then, all the water inside the bathroom spun upward into a violent vortex. The room's lights went out. The TV died. The ticking stopped. Arian bolted for the door. This time, it opened. But the hallway was gone. Only darkness, a faint red glow far away. Arian was terrified to look back, but wherever he ran, he returned to the same place, as if the entire hotel was trapped in a loop. Then, the red light came closer, a red lantern, held by no one, just floating. A whisper brushed his ear. "Checkout completed. Room 31's door closed by itself." The next morning, the hotel manager opened the door. Room 31 was empty. No one inside, only a single paper lay on the bed. "Thank you for staying. Guest 31, AR." The hotel staff whispered. "Arian, no guest with that name checked in. We haven't rented room 31 for years." The manager replied, "Rented or not, room 31 is never empty.